Hey guys! Today I wanted to film a little bit of a different video for you guys. Today's video is actually inspired by our friend Matthias. If you guys don't know, I kind of posted about a round that I played with a fan. I don't like calling you guys fans. A friend, okay, a new friend. When I was in Germany, his name is Matthias, and he actually talked to me regarding my Yardage book, or he called it a birdie book. And I never thought about it. Well, technically I did, but to me it comes like Yardage books are something that we get every single week, so to me it was like nothing out of the ordinary. But I realized to a lot of you guys might have no idea what a professional Yardage book might look like, so I thought maybe this could be some interesting content for you guys. So today I have 3 different Yardage books here to show you guys, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how we use them, basically what we use them for, and just kind of show you guys what it looks like, because I realize a lot of you guys might have never even really seen what it looks like. So it's a little bit of a different content, but I just thought for the sake of course management, which is a lot of what my videos are talking about anyway, this is definitely a very relevant topic. So I hope you guys stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by showing you guys this, which is called the Green Book. So this is what I bought during my first ever LPGA qualifying in 2017, and let me just show you what it looks like. So if you guys have never seen this, get ready for this because it's about to blow your mind. Like, I'm just gonna give you a second to look at that again. Can you see that? Like, yeah. So this has recently been banned because I think it's pretty clear why, because this is pretty insane. So just a little bit of an explanation of what this is, because if you've never seen it, like I said, I think it's pretty darn overwhelming and you have no idea what you're looking at. But this is basically, so let's say this is like hole 1, so this is like Arnold Palmer course hole 1. So this is the green at the Arnold Palmer course in Dinah Shore in Mission Hills, where they have stage 1 of qualifying every year. And this is basically the entire green layout and all the slopes, every single thing in it. So this is what the players have been using for a while. So you can basically see every slope on the green. So I think a big reason why it was banned is because you can just imagine if this is all the information that you're trying to process before reading a putt, it's going to take a while. And that is also, I mean, that is kind of what caddies do, but not everybody, especially, you know, at a qualifying round, is going to have a caddy. So I think eventually it just got to be a little bit too much and people started taking too long on putting greens. I don't know, that is my assumption of why green books are basically banned. But yeah, so this is the first thing that I wanted to show you. So when I played this, I had this book and another book, which was my Yardage book, because this is just showing the greens. So I wanted to show you guys this book, which is from when I played the KLPGA. So this is the Hillsong Championship, and you can see this. So this is like a in-play Yardage book. So you can see over here, this Yardage book shows the course. If it focuses, the course, the green on top here, the shape of the green, and this is the green book again with all the slopes on every single part of the green. So you can see this is like a playing Yardage book. So previously when this was allowed, they would just, you know, basically staple this, or I don't know how to, yeah, they made the book with this in it. So I mean, it's not unfair because every single player had it. Like, this is an official Yardage book from the tournament, so every single person, usually what happens is when you're playing on a big enough tour like the KLPGA or even the LET, Yardage books are included in the price of your entry fee, so every single player gets one of these. So it's not unfair, but at the same time, it's like, how many people is gonna be able to go and measure up the greens and go and read all of this information before hitting a putt, especially if you do not have a caddy? And that's why caddies do a lot more on tour than you might think. So since this has been banned, yeah, this is not, so now this is what a Yardage book looks like. It's just the hole and the green. So you still see that there are some numbers on there, but these are basic numbers. So there are like, so for instance, this 24 right here, So 24 paces on from the front of the green, there's going to be a slope. So these are all common information that you get on Yardage books, so it's not anything that is as extreme as what was in the green book. But yeah, I thought I would show you guys and kind of explain a little, because I think it is pretty interesting. So one of the things that the green book shows is, as you can see, there's a color system. So green being the least slope and red being the most severe slope. So basically what you would have to do is you would have to go by aim point. So like, let's say it's like I'm playing the Hillsong Championship, and this is the first hole. It's a par 4. You can see the hole right here. This was in Vietnam, by the way. So you can see it's like 243, blah blah blah, 261 to this bunker. And then, okay, let's say I hit the tee shot, and then I'm on the green in 2, and the pin is somewhere here. Let's say if it focuses, let's say the pin is over here, I can just refer, basically it's over here at some point. And let's say I hit it over here. So you can see over here, it's yellow, so it's pretty severe, and you can see the numbers there, 2.9. So let's say I'm putting from here to here. You can see from here it's 2.9. So what is 2.9? 2.9 is basically the slope. So if you guys have ever heard about aim point, this is exactly the number that you would use. So like 2.9, you would go like 3. That's how it works. So this also goes a lot of aim point. So people who use aim, and that's why for a period of time you see a lot of people use aim point, because if you have all this information, all you had to do is kind of have basic knowledge of aim point, and you basically be able to read the greens pretty well. And if you do not, one thing that a lot of players do as well is their caddies do it. So if they're not someone that could feel the greens, maybe with their feet, with their hands, with their eyes, what they can do, if their caddy is really good at doing it, their caddy can do that instead. So one thing that I personally did not like about this, I never really used this that much, is because I know how to do aim point, but for me, I feel like aim point, if you guys know the basics of aim point, you guys understand what it is. It's basically using feel to, use your feet to feel the ground, or use your, it's just basically feel. For me, aim point is kind of a guessing game. So if I stand there and I feel like the slope is 3, like that could be what I feel, but I mean, there's no way to clarify whether the slope is 3. So if I go there and I'm like, I think this slope is a 3, and I'm not 100% sure, obviously it comes with practice, but that's why I just never really did it, because I felt like if it's going to be a guessing game anyway, I might as well use my own feel based on my eyes, because I feel like that would give me the highest chance. Whereas if I'm thinking it's a 3, whereas in my head I'm like not 100%, is it 3, is it 2.5, is it 3.5, I think I would have a better chance of making a putt if I were to feel it rather than use numbers. But that's just me personally. I mean, a lot of people still use aim point, so it just depends on what works for you. But yeah, I just want to kind of show you guys how all these numbers works. And yeah, so there's a lot that goes into a yardage book. A yardage book is a very important tool for a professional golfer. So if you guys are sometimes wondering, there obviously are a lot of cases where, for instance, golf bags get lost, or golfers' flights get delayed, visa issues, whatever, and golfers aren't able to get there until the day of the tournament or the day before the tournament. They're not able to do practice rounds, and the reason why they're still able to play good golf is because they have this. They have a yardage book. A yardage book basically tells you everything that you need to be able to play a golf course. And this is something that I think obviously a lot of amateur golfers don't have, or at least not to this detail. So this is something that I thought would be pretty interesting to share, because I mean, okay, so another thing that you would see, like if you look at all these numbers here, this yellow circle, this red triangle, what all those means is usually before the tournament, the person that creates these yardage books usually would go out and mark this on the golf course. So when you're walking and you might see on a professional golf tournament, let's say you're following some players and you see like a yellow circle or something, those are what we're looking at. So from the yellow circle, it will be 120 yards, and then you can see the slope of +3, 120 plus 3. So basically it's 123 yards to the front of the green, and then that's why we get a pin sheet, and then from 123 you include whatever the pin is. Let's say it's 5 on, so it's going to be 123 to the front, 128 to the pin. So this is also why I talked in another video about why it's so important to know your carry distance, because that is basically huge chunk of information that any professional golfer will use every single time they're reading a yardage book and reading. And that's why all the distances are to the front of the green, not to the center of the green, because we all want to know how much it is to the front, especially if you're playing really hard greens, you're probably going to have to land it short. So these are all the information that we look at when we're looking at a yardage book. So I thought it would be kind of fun just to show you guys and maybe play a hole. So let's see. So this is from my Q school last year in La Manga for the LET. So I wanted to show you guys the first hole. So the first hole is a par 4, 336 yards. You can see right there, and they have a little visual of the hole, and you can see how far they kind of show you how far it is to reach, usually like some prominent, like maybe like a bunker or something that a lot of people tend to reach. So for instance, this one 243, it's a bunker. A lot of people are going to be able to reach that, so it's something that you're going to want to consider. Do I want to hit a driver here? Because if I hit a driver, I can reach that bunker. Another thing that you can see here, so for over here they show like right to the front of the bunker, it's 255, and 255 yards is how far you would have to tee off to reach this point, whereas the red number 65, if I'm not mistaken because I'm reading this upside down, 65 is going to be how far it is to the front of the green, which is right here. So this is one of the things that we look at, especially during practice rounds. But like I said, if you don't have a practice round, all this information is here for you to already know. So if you hit your driver around 250 yards, you might be thinking, if I hit a good drive, I could end up in this bunker. And if you look at this bunker, it's a 65-yard bunker shot to the front of the green. So let's say the pin's in front and you have 70-yard bunker shot. That is not an ideal bunker shot. Not a lot of people like to hit that kind of distance for a bunker shot. You know, that is just, whereas if you look at this one, it's 223 to the edge, 91 to the front. So even if you were in this bunker, you would be hitting something like a pitching wedge or 9-iron to the green, versus if you're hitting something like a 58 or 56 degree wedge into the green with like a 70-80 yard bunker shot. So I think if you look at it that way, you might be thinking, this might not be a driver hole because I could hit a really good drive and end up in a really awkward bunker shot. Or you could also be thinking, it's 255 yards, there's no way my driver could reach that, so this is definitely a driver hole. And if I hit a driver, I have a higher chance of not being in this bunker. Let's say you're only someone that carries it 230, so you know you can't reach this bunker, but then now this bunker is out of play. So like you can see here, there's a lot of information just by looking at this that you don't even have to play a course, and you already know exactly the distances to all the hazards and things like that. And that is why knowing your distance and knowing your game is so important. But we honestly can't do it without a yardage book, because a yardage book basically tells us everything we need to know about a golf course. And yeah, obviously you still need to execute, you still need to be able to hit the shots, but if you're able to come up with a good plan, you have a way higher chance of success. And obviously you're not going to be able to have a yardage book for every single golf course that you play at, especially not one as detailed as this, and you're not going to have distances all to the front of the green. But these are the kind of information that you can get while you're playing, and just pay attention to it so that you are able to make better decisions. So if you realize all the trees, all the bunkers are always marked, so you know exactly how far it is to carry these bunkers as well. So for instance, what this means, if you see here 4 yards, so let's say it is 65 to the front here, anything 4 yards short of that is going to be in the top front of this bunker. So that's what this means. So 61 yards is to the top of this bunker. So you know, if you have a 65-yard shot, 61 is going to be to the top of the bunker. Anything 70 yards and above is safe. So then again, like I said, on the greens they're always going to show you the slopes, how far it is below the slope, above the slope. So if the pin is up here and it's 27 to this part of the slope, you know you're going to want to get it at least to the 27 point where you're going to carry it. Or obviously if you want to be safe, at least to 30, which you know is going to be around here. And you know you also have up to 39. So you still have, let's say you choose a point which is about 30, you still have 9 paces past the pin, which is about 9 yards, that you can miss it. And that is a whole club. So chances of you taking one club more and being over, you know that, okay, let's say you're going to hit a 127 to here, 130 yards here, and 139 yards there. You know that if you hit something 130, chances of that running out all the way to 139 is really low. So you're probably still going to give yourself a putt on the green, versus if you hit it too short, Like if you hit a 125 shot, it's probably going to come back down this slope and you're going to be putting up this slope. So these are all the information that you get from a yardage book, things that help us plan our way around the golf course. And yeah, I hope you guys found this interesting and not too much information. I tried to explain it like the best I could, but let me know if you guys have any more questions. I think that this kind of things, like basically all we need is something like this. Things like green books are great, but at the end of the day, I think too much information is not good as well. Like golf is, to me, I feel like it's a very feel-based game. So I mean, we as players know what feels best for us, and when you feel good, you play good. So you don't really need, information is great, technology is great, but I think there's a limit to how much we need. And obviously that goes based on who you are as well. If you're someone like Bryson DeChambeau, you probably want more information, you probably like to have the data, but I don't think everybody's going to be performing really well with too much data, and data overload is definitely an issue as well. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think something simple where you are able to see the distances to all the hazards, plan out your course well, see the golf course and the green contour. That's all you really need, and I know that that's something that not a lot of amateur golfers are able to experience. So that's why I thought I'd share it with you guys today, and I hope you guys found this video interesting. Let me know if you guys have any more questions or things that you guys might like to see. Things like this sometimes go over my head because I mean, a yardage book to me is like common property. Like it's something that I would never think like, oh, let me show you my yardage book. But yeah, it's something that to me I might not think might be interesting, but maybe you guys think it's interesting. And if you guys find something else that's interesting that I might not think is interesting but you might think it's interesting, let me know, and if I can make a video about it, I will. So thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed that, and catch you guys in the next one.